concerns about
value
like,
drawings as
connectivity
opposed to
issues on
flyway
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
This is my guy.
Yes. Went back when this chocolate was here, was there, yeah.
The better part is this little quote.
Ah.
And now,
This is all you were
access points.
Oh boy.
So you basically can't get enough, like, set
Pull up my
you
lord.
can't you can't keep
Which I
it.
need to change
The amount of packages
my lord,
you've
so.
done you disconnect the whole game.
Really?
You physically can't play games in a res.
You see how it's looking around like that? It's probably the best I've seen it happen.
Oh.
Alright. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up. That's the other thing I was gonna do. This is gonna be awful. And I'm gonna hate myself for this. I'm honestly gonna hate myself for this. System. Two.
You have to have your arm cut off first.
I realize something. If you have like a weapon, like the bomb,
I think it was this one.
if you see someone else going for it, you can just like.
Yeah.
Can I hear grappling?
Yeah, dude. We have a fully.
I'll be finding you.
That's not what I wanted.
I'll show you that.
That's pretty much what we're trying to do. Well, that's the big.
I like baseball too. I didn't like the gun legs in second one.
Alright. I think we're ready to start now, guys. So, you guys quiet down a bit?
Actually existing.
Yeah, no, actually existing. Yeah.
Oh, you.
I don't like saying that Titanfall 1 was a bad game because it wasn't. It was
The
good.
gameplay, the gameplay.
The gameplay was phenomenal. It was a better arena shooter than the second one, but the second one improved on like visually everything except for like time to kill.
Yeah. The grappling hook was always like my favorite sort of thing. And
I've never used anything else. Except for the Oh,
Hey, guys. So, alright, so today we're going to be learning about Xinput. So, first question is, what is Xinput? And my answer to that is, it's literally just controller input. Yeah, I know, right?
And then you don't even take answers from the audience. I'm outraged.
I'll be outraged. I don't mind. Anyways, so Xinput is basically a controller input that is specific to Xbox devices. So you have your regular your Xbox One controller, Xbox 360 controller, even if you can plug it in, you got your steering wheel, and that's on the far left is a compatibility device, which is really useful for people who have disabilities and stuff like that. And you may be wondering how the heck we're going to actually be programming this, because we are going to program all of this in C++ by ourselves. Heck yeah. So, yeah, how do we do this, basically? Through the Win API. So Windows actually comes preloaded with all the stuff to actually decipher Xbox controller input. We just have to implement it. So without further ado, let's get started. Yeah. So let's just hey, it actually did it. Let's just close these and that. So first, I put in the programming help Discord the file that you're going to need to just include to your project folder. And I'm just going to go through the entire process of actually putting stuff into doing a new project again. So just go to File, New, Project, I'm gonna call mine, oh wait, make sure it's an empty project first, and go name it to something, whatever you want. You can, I'm gonna name mine Xinput, example. I don't want a space in there. There we go. And yep, just make it. Crap, I forgot where I put it. Oh well. I'll figure that out later. Alright, so everything's here now, so I don't actually just try finding wherever the hell it is. I just right click on the project, and then I just press open in folder, and it brings up a folder, but not on the right one, so I'm gonna bring it up here. I have my thing downloaded somewhere, so I'm gonna go to downloads. Just get the Xinput manager, just plop it in here. Yay. Now I have to actually include it into my project, so I'm gonna right click on here and go to add existing item. We'll just bring it to the solution, and bingo, it's in there. Yay. So the other thing we have to actually make is our main file, so gonna new file. I shouldn't have done it that way. Or I could just right click on here, add new item, and actually go to CPP file. Could call mine main.cpp. And right now, that's all we're gonna do for that. So now we're just gonna go into our Xinput manager.h thing, and you'll see that I have some stuff up here already ready to go, and don't know why that's there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm just gonna explain what I already have in here. So you know how I said Xinput already is included into your into Windows, but you actually have to say that you want to use it. So you have to include the xinput.h, but that's not all you actually have to do. You actually also have to link the library that actually has all the definitions of what all the functions do. So I do that with this line. It's useful. But yeah, that's all we need for now. That's what we need. So anybody want to sort of guess what we're gonna be putting into our sort of into our controllers? So like things that you think we'll actually need for, I'm actually gonna, Nick? Oh, or actually Matt, yeah.
We want to find a way of getting the X and Y axes of the sticks.
Yes. So as you can see, I actually have a struct to actually put that information in when we get there, but we actually have to include that in here. So actually we're gonna make a function for that. So I'm gonna name mine sticks, or just for now just void get sticks. Get sticks, yeah. And then I'm going to pass into it a array of controllers, because this only, or array of sticks, because this only gets like one stick. So gonna do that. Oh, actually, oh yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can.
Oh, we've already got the front lights off. And
Oh, that was the front light.
that's about And if he turns off all the rest of them, that means people won't see their keyboards because they're no longer back.
Is this a bit better? Oh, I need to actually
All third years are still salty about,
gonna.
about the loss of the backlit keyboards.
It's a bit better, or you want it a bit bigger?
We did.
Bigger?
We had
Hmm?
older laptops. Upgrade.
I'm just gonna guess this is fine. Actually, I'm gonna make it text.
Graphics cards and upgrade.
Oh god, that's a bit too big.
RAM is an upgrade. The CPUs.
Go back to 2. So the sticks is one function that we're going to actually have to have. So in there, we're going to put sticks, stick, and we're going to actually have an array of sticks, but you can't actually pass in an array to a function. So the way to get around that is to use a pointer and actually just get the address of what you're getting. So sticks, pointer, sticks. Yeah, good with that. Anything else that you think we may want to get from our controller? Just,
Triggers.
yeah, triggers too, which I've also created. So void, get triggers. 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 8%. Yeah. This will just get the triggers and return it to, and actually change the value of whatever you actually put into this function. So, yeah, Nick?
Want to get the bumpers?
Well, I get the bumpers too.
Like, you have the bumpers separate from the rest of the buttons?
The bumpers not separate.
Actually,
No,
no.
the bumpers act.
You just remind me of something. So the bumpers are actually considered as buttons. So when we're getting the buttons of our controller as well, we're gonna get the bumper things as well. So we don't actually need bumpers. So we're just gonna say we're gonna get the actual buttons instead. So actually we're gonna, instead of actually getting the bumper, we're going to return if a button is being pressed. So it's just going to be a bool is button pressed, and we're gonna get type of controller. These are all the controller input buttons I have defined up here. So we're gonna get one of so we're gonna do an
Return of, oh, you are returning a
I'm
bool, so
returning a
it
bool.
should-
so the actual type.
Just look for the button enum that you sent in. So
Yeah, so instead of putting the enum in there, I have to put in I'm going to put in an integer. Why did I put integer? It's just going to be
that's
button.
what sleep deprivation does to you guys.
Yeah, you shouldn't be up until 3 in the morning, still programming. I mean, every day. And then wake up at like 3 hours from that. So, yeah. Actually, you guys just give me 1 second. Forgot to actually open up my example code too. That's the wrong one. No, I opened it like 5 seconds ago. Give me a second. That's why it's not there. Sorry guys, I actually had to get my computer fixed today, so I have a loaner laptop right now. That's not fun.
But that's just because this guy is like.
Users. It was in documents, projects, and then there we go. All right. So yeah. Update button. This button release. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, so we're going to get the button if the button is pressed, and we're also going to get if the button is also released. So just copy, release. And after that, anything else you think we need to add to it? Yeah, it's fine. I think that's literally all, just about everything that we need to add to it. Yep.
Are we going to be handling multiple controllers?
Yes, we will. So,
we also need to pass in the number of the controller?
yes. That's another thing I was going to just put to each of the functions. So, since this itself is a class of Xinput controller, this is just one singular controller. So, I'm going to give, so each of the functions that we are going to be using are going to ask for the index of the controller that we're using. And you can have up to 4 controllers. So it's going to be an index from 0 to 3, not 1 to 4, since it's taking the actual index and not what number controller it is. Because arrays start at 0. So I'm going to put in index, int index. It's in there. There are a couple other things that are obscure and you would not be able to guess this. So we're also going to use some of the stuff that we actually need from the Xinput library. So there's a struct called Xinput _ state that actually gets all of the stuff that's in the controller. So I'm just gonna call that info. All the info about the controller. And also controllers usually have some set parameters for, like, if you want to have a dead zone, say your controller's just really jerky, so you just want to set a dead zone so you don't actually like move your character like everywhere, even when it's just in the center. So I'm gonna add some dead zone values. So float dead zone. I'm gonna make one for sticks individually. So sticks, and I'm also gonna make one for the triggers. So dead zone trigger 6 triggers. And there's one other thing that we also need. We also need to actually update our controller. So yeah, we're just gonna make a update function. So that's all we need, as far as I remember, for now. Ooh, one last thing I forgot. We also actually have to initialize it as well. Actually, no, we don't have to initialize it, but we actually have to have a function to actually set our index of their controller. So I'm going to do void set controller input index. I'm just going to say index. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So now we're actually going to define what all these functions actually do. So for set controller index, I'm just gonna, I don't like how this happens. I'm just gonna set the index of the thing, so I'm just gonna use this operator, this index equals index, just because I named them the exact same thing, and I can't and Visual Studios can't differentiate between the two, so I have to do that. For our update function, there we go. For our update function, we are actually going to do a couple things. First, we're gonna check if the index that has been given to us from our set controller index is within the range of controllers that we can actually take. So if index is less than or greater than equal to 0, and it is also index is also less than 4, then we're actually going to update all the input stuff. So I'm going to use another function called Xinput get state. And this is another function from within the Xinput library that says, hey, from this index, I want to update the state of my controller. So I'm going to take the info parameter that we've made, info, and that should just go away. Yeah. All right. Next, we're gonna just do some button stuff, because that's a lot easier than the sticks and the triggers. Just gonna do that. For our buttons, so how buttons work for Xbox controllers is that they take something called a bit mask. So instead of returning, say, a variable for A, and a variable for B, a variable for your left and right bumpers, it actually returns one integer that represents everything that's been pressed. So we're going to have to actually do something so that it doesn't just give us a number that we can't understand. So we can actually say we have our button that we've pressed. Now we need to actually say, is that button being pressed? Even if, like, say 3 buttons are being pressed at once, we can actually detect if that one button is being pressed. So we're going to just return I can't spell return. because there we go. Going to return if X input, or if the button, actually, is it the button to then the thing, or is it the other way around? Actually, it wouldn't matter. If the button is, if that button is within the parameters of the actual input. So I'm going to use that input variable that we, or info variable that we have, info dot gamepad dot buttons. Yeah. And this itself will get if this button is being pressed. So maybe wondering what this ampersand's really doing right now. So this is the bitwise ampersand, and it basically checks the bits with the bits within these two numbers and checks if they're equal to each other. So if I had specifically in binary, so if I had one binary number that's like 10010, and another that's 11000. I don't know.
It would only return one.
It would then return.
0, 0, 0.
It would return 1 0 1 0 1. It's just checking if these two are the same. So if these two are the same, then it returns true. These two are the same, it returns. These two aren't the same, so they return false. These two are the same, 1, false. Same thing. So yeah, that's basically what it does. And the way they've formatted it is that each button in binary is on a different number slot. So 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 24 or 32, onward and onward. So each button will actually, if any of the button, if it's if all the buttons return false, then this will return a 0, which is then converted into a bool, which bool 0 is a false value. And if something equals 1, then any value that's not 0 is true in a Boolean, so it converts that to true. So that's all we need for that. And for is released, we're going to do the same thing. Actually, not do the same thing. We're just going to return if is yeah, just button. Return if the button was pressed. Button. If the button was not pressed, which will saves me time and energy rewriting that. So yeah, that's about it. Next, I'm gonna actually do the triggers because this is a fairly easy function. Actually, for triggers, yeah, I did that. So for triggers, I'm just going to set the trigger value that I've sent in already. Triggers, set this value, I'm gonna say set that equal to another triggers value. And initialize this trigger with the input value variables. Now, the thing with Xinput, it's instead of returning a float from like 0 to 1 for like triggers, because it's basically a stick that only goes from 0 to 1.
Doesn't it return an int from 0 to 65,535?
No, it doesn't return an int, it returns a short, which is basically an int but shorter. Yeah, you did get the number wrong. So what we're going to do is since triggers takes in 2 float values, I'm just gonna put in the trigger info dot gamepad dot left trigger and info dot gamepad dot right trigger. Now, since they return an integer that is the greatest size of, from the greatest size of a short, which is, actually no, they don't return a short. They return a byte. So a byte is a value from 0 to 255 instead. So we just have to divide this by 255, and it will actually return a value from 0 to 1 instead of a value from 0 to 255. So we also have to specify that we don't want this to be a float when we're dividing, or be a byte when we're dividing. So we want this to be a float. Same thing here. And yeah, this will set our trigger stuff. Now for, oh God, sticks. Now this is the one reason you're all gonna hate me in about 5 minutes. So this is the one that is basically a short from, it goes from negative 3,200 or 32,768 to positive 32,767. Don't ask me why they've done this to me, but they have. So, yeah, let's just try and do this. So, we're going to set the x values first. So, if the info variable dot gamepad dot first we're going to do the left thumbstick stuff first. So x is, we're going to check if it's less than 0 first, because we actually want to know which value I'm dividing by, whether it be the one that ends in 8 or the one that ends in 7, which you may not think matters that much, but I've gotten some weird values from that. So we're just going to check first. So
You don't think it'd be like it is like 2?
yeah. So first I'm going to do sticks 0. I'm just going to say that I have 2 sticks in there, because actually I'm going to do something else. I'm going to sort of define this as an array of 2, so I remember that I'm supposed to put 2 sticks in there, but it's still going to define as a pointer. So 0.x is going to be equal to float info dot gamepad dot left stick x divided by 3278 67 or 68. I can't type, don't worry. And this will actually, just gonna put a little note in here. From 0 to, I'm gonna do this, -1. There we go. Actually, why did I put negative? Actually, that's wrong. -1 to 1. And then I'm gonna do else if, or let's just say, actually no, just else. If it's not less than 0, then it's above 0. So, 0 dot x is equal to, oh, don't know how I did that, equals copy pasta 7. Yeah. No. Wait. I messed up. There we go. And then yeah, just basically the same thing except for I don't know why I said you're gonna hate me after this. This is literally just copy and paste. I'm just gonna flip both of those. This 1. Actually, no. Wait, this is all just 0. I forgot. This time it's for y. It's y. Y. And then change these to y. That too. Oh, jeez. Alright. We got half of it. Now to copy paste everything again. Oh crap, I didn't get everything. Copy that. Oh yeah, I did the wrong thing. I'm definitely having such a good time copy and pasting these values. Oh god. Just add some space there. A shit ton. Oh wait, hold up. Yeah. Yeah, I did it right. I'm just gonna specify up here so I don't get mixed up as well. Left stick. Left stick. Right stick. Yeah. For whatever reason, I thought that was spelled wrong for a second. Yeah. So we're just gonna change these values to 1. Ooh. 1. Yeah. Oh. Yep. I've done this so many times and forgotten about this, and then I look at the values later and then realize, hey, this is the same stick twice. Oh god. Oh no. Ugh. And this? Did I forget one? Yes, I did. It's a lot of copy pasta. All right. So right now, we have a base. And I just realized we haven't actually implemented our dead zones. So we're actually going to have to set those as well. So just void dead zone. Dead zone stick. Sticks. What's a float? Yeah, float. I'm just gonna call it DZ. I'm lazy. And void dead zone. Trigger. Yeah. Float. DZ. A. We're just gonna set our E. So our float value, set our dead zone values that we've actually put in already, just forgot about. So sticks is equal to DZ. And dead zone triggers is equal to Easy. What did I... Is it saying... No, it's not that. I have to rename it. Both of these. So, what IntelliSense is telling me is that it can't define which one's which, because I had these named the exact same thing. So, smart me. And now to actually say we're going to use this. Oh, yeah, that was the part that was fun. So, I have an if statement saying that if the, actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take float value, call it x and y. Because I do not want to write this more than once. Is equal to in float. Actually, what the hell am I doing? Copy paste. Jeez. X is equal to this, and y is equal to this. I honestly do not care that I did not specify which one it is, because I just don't want to. It'll be accurate enough the way I'm doing it right now. So if square root, that's cute. If the square root of x times x plus y times y is less than the dead zone of the sticks, actually greater than square root. Square root is undefined. Maybe putting an STD in front of it. This is usually just Give me 1 second. Include anything? Extra? No. Just gonna try doing this. No. I'm wondering why that's... Oh, that's why. I don't even need that. I renamed this to stick. Ugh. No? Still doesn't like it?
Import seasonal.
Yeah. That'll work. I didn't want to. Let's see. There we go. Now it should work. Hey. I'm just gonna... Ooh, what the hell just happened? Enter. I'm just gonna press Alt down, just surround this entire thing with it. And gonna do the same for the other one as well. I'm just gonna copy the same if statement. And then just rename these variables. Redo these variables. Copy that. Ew. Just gonna make these both semicolons, because there we go. That looks nice. Ooh. R. And then we got traction. Yeah. Now we got the dead zones. And for this, I'm going to show you something pretty cool. All right. So, oh crap, I forgot to divide this by 255. So, you have this, right? Actually, I'm gonna have to do one more thing, actually. Or else this will be really long. I'm gonna make two more floats. I'm gonna make L and R. Yeah, we have this set to equal that, and R is set to equal this. And then I'm going to check. This is gonna be fun if L is less than dead zone. Dead zone trigger. Why did I uppercase that? Gotta rename. I want to rename something to press Control RR, just saying. D. There we go. So less than dead zone trigger. Using this is called the ternary operator. So so basically, it checks whether this is true or false. Then depending on the answer, it does one of two things separated by the semicolon. So on the left is the true statement, on the right is the false statement. So if it's true, then 0. If it's false, then L. Just take the L on that one. You gotta do SAMs for this. R is less than dead zone trigger. Trigger. Question mark. Is it? And R. That's about it. Yep. I think we're good for now. Yeah, we're good. It's good enough. Actually, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to set the index to -1 initially, equal -1, so that if, say, I haven't set the trigger, or set the controller index, it won't run, or it won't give me any values for my thing. So, because of this. Yeah, it's time to actually start using this. Actually, no, it's not. I forgot. The main part of this, the actual manager. So what this manager is going to do is going to simplify everything we've just done so that we'll have 4 controllers. It'll update them for us, and it's going to also do some check if the controller is also connected, so that you can say, hey, if this isn't connected, then don't do this. Please, it's going to break my code. So everything we're going to make in here is going to be static. So static boom, controller connected. I can't spell. Gonna take the index. And we're also going to actually have an array of controllers already set inside of here, so that, because we're only ever going to have 4 controllers, there's no so we can just have everything set and ready to go. Static Xinput. Xinput controller. Controllers. An array of size 4. And we're also going to get controller. Actually, yeah, static. Can't forget the static. Xinput controller pointer. Get controller. And index. Don't worry about it. I'm smart. And last but not least, actually, why did I put them? Void. I can't spell update. Yee. So, yeah. So I'm gonna do something really fun. So I'm going to highlight all of these. See this little light bulb right here? I'm gonna create definition of, it says update, but everything. Actually, create declaration and definition. So this will create a CPP file of those things in particular. As you can see, it's right here. Cool, right? I know you all know it's cool. It's all good. And another thing with our static controllers is that I also have to define them inside my CPP as well. So to do that, I'm just going to put Xinput controller, the namespace of my manager. So Xinput manager controllers and array size of 4. And yeah, ready to go. So with that, just gonna open that up. We're gonna set some stuff and do the stuff. Is anybody lost or need more time to just catch up? Raise your hand. Scan through of the. Yeah. So just take some. I know I typed slowly, so I literally just didn't do this before, but just gonna scroll up menacingly. And I'm just gonna go back down to the one part I know someone probably messed up in, but probably doesn't know it yet. Yep. Matt?
I do have a question about your is button released
Yeah.
function.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that essentially just a is button up function? Like not actually checking if you're releasing the button, it's just checking if the button is up.
Yeah. If the button,
Like it's not a release function.
it's not a release function. It's just the button is raised, then it's okay. You want me
I don't
to?
see a reason to have that function.
Well,
Now, if you're
it's
actually checking if it's released, then I do see a reason to have that function.
then
That is
it's literally just there, Matt, just so that I can say, hey, I want to know if the button is released. So I need to get the button, if is button down or pressed, in my case, and then get the not of that. So it literally does the not step for me. That's about it. I just defined that so that it's, I have another way of doing things. I could rename them. You can, if you want, you can rename them, but I like it. So,
I'm just saying, just checking if it's up.
Yeah.
Without the context of why it's up is
Yeah.
slightly redundant.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Although admittedly, I wrote a metric ton of code to get my is released for my game last year, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I get not wanting to do that.
Yeah. Does anybody still need help getting caught up or anything like that? I'll just keep it up for a little bit longer. Just gonna.
Excuse me, I'm just doing art and game program.
All right. I'm just gonna go into the Xinput manager stuff because it's not that much code. Literally done most of the code with one function in the with the sticks function. So yeah, that's about it. So for the controller connected, I'm just gonna do one thing. There we go. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna go through all the controllers and check if each one of them is connected, basically. So yeah. So control connected. But first I have to check the index if it's within the range. So if index is less than 0, and you'll know why I'm saying less than 0 later. Index is greater than or equal to 4. Return. Go back to whence you came. False. I can't. Fulls. There you go. Can't say I haven't taught you nothing. Yeah. So is that?
Teach them useful macros like define true, false.
We did teach them useful macros, like to define true, false, exactly.
We're gonna get a next input state. Next input state, yeah. Connected.
Hey, Henry,
Yeah.
is there a reason why it's not an OR statement
An or statement?
for the if?
Because oh wait, yeah. Yeah. Actually,
Either less than 0 or greater than 4.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Does that mean you're wrong?
I mean, you don't have
I
to
mean,
ask them to confirm, but
I can say that you're right and leave it at that.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so is that. TED. I did slightly change it from what I had. Then, oh, I don't need anything else. I'm just going to return. This is sort of a hacky way of doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. X input. I don't want to. X input. Get state. Yeah, get state. I just can't spell, so I rely on IntelliSense way too much. Index. ampersand connected because it takes a reference of the data location. I'm gonna say if it's equal to error underscore success. There we go. So basically, if this returns, if this is a success, then it will just return true. If it's not, then it's gonna be false. So it's not connected. That's about it. Now we're gonna get controller. Again, I'm just gonna check if
Hey, Emery?
yep.
I'm wondering if it's comparing connected, where is connected being set? Is it as it's being declared, it's being set true or false, or?
So connected is being set within this function, but we don't actually care about what's in this function. What connect is. All right. It's weird. So in Xinput get state, it returns a pointer to the data that connect is pointing to. So
It's just the
so basically, if it returns if nothing is put into connected, it will then return a null value, which is just 0. So, but if it is actually, it doesn't actually return a pointer to it. It returns either an error success or 0 if it's nothing happened, or something else if nothing happened. So that's what it's actually doing. I just needed a variable, so yeah. So next is get controllers. So basically I'm going to say if index is greater than or equal to 0, then if the index is greater than or equal to 0 and the index is also less than 4, then we're going to return the pointer to our data location. So to do that, to our controller that we've already set. So return controllers. So yeah, just make sure I spell all right. So what I'm gonna do may not look like it makes sense, but it does. Yes.
You invited the means you invited the program.
Actually, I'm going to do it a different way, just so it doesn't look that terrible. Just looks weird doing that. So I'm going to get the data from the index that I've specified in as a parameter. Index. And then I'm just going to return the address of that controller. And then if this is not true, then it's just going to return a null pointer. And now for the update. I'm literally just going to update all 4 controllers. So I'm just going to use a for loop. Int I equals, actually I'm going to call it int index equals 0. Index is less than 4, and index plus plus. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. hate that one thing with it. If controller controller connected index then just actually I don't even know. Yeah. Index dot update. And don't think I've missed anything. Ooh, there is one thing I sort of missed. So we're almost ready to actually have everything working. There's just one thing I forgot to also include, was a constructor for this class. So in the beginning, each controller doesn't know what controller it is yet. So in our constructor, so just copy, paste. I'm just going to save that, and then actually right click, actually quick settings, define, does that, but I don't actually need it. Go back into the CPP, and I'm gonna go for loop for into index equals 0, index is less than 4, index plus plus, and within here I'm just going to go controllers index dot I think it was set controller index, and it's just going to set to the index, and I'm pretty sure that is it. So congratulations everybody, you have now set up your own, you've now set up your own Xinput class. Now to actually use it. So the only thing I'm actually going to include is our Xinput manager. Actually, first I'm gonna save everything I've done. Thank God. Control Shift S, and you save everything that's already open. That's another useful thing. Even though I just nonchalantly say that's a useful thing. Include I forgot what it was called. Xinput manager. Dot H. Yee. And then I'm just gonna have, I'm gonna do it the proper way. Int main and return 0. All right, so now we're actually gonna test if our controllers actually work, which is gonna be fun. So just gonna look at my reference real quick. So first things first, we're going to need to get an Xinput variable. So Xinput manager give me 1 second. Xinput manager, yeah, we'll just call it input. even though I technically don't need it, but it makes things a lot easier later. Now I'm just going to make one controller variable. So X input controller pointer is now equal to input dot get controller. So you may be wondering, controller 0, since I want to get the first controller in my X input manager. After that, I'm just gonna make a while loop. While true. This will never exit, and I like it that way. So, what are we gonna do? So first we have to update all our inputs. So input dot update. This will just update every single controller. I could use controller dot update, but I just want to update all of them. Controller 1 dot get sticks. And what we're also going to need is a array of sticks so that we can actually store the values that we've put into our that we're getting from our X input manager. So sticks.
I forgot how to write an income statement.
Sticks.
It's okay.
Oh wait, no. Sticks. And I'm gonna have. I just love sticks, man. Matt, don't kill me. No. Anyways. I'm literally just gonna put this value right into here, and it will populate this for me. Make sure that your array's already initialized to 2, or else things will go wrong. Things will go wrong. And let's just leave it at that. Now to actually print out the actual information. So I'm going to use printf.
Yes, Emery.
Yeah, no cout for you guys, because this will be absolute cancer.
Include STDIO.
No. Why would I do that? Don't worry about it.
I mean, that's not the error.
No, that's not the error. It's just, hold on.
I'm pretty sure it is, but he hasn't included any input-output.
Yeah, that may be it.
Find that function on its own. It's weird.
Yeah, sometimes it just does it. Usually it did for me the last time, so that's why it didn't even include CMath.
You can do IOStream or STDIO.
Oh.
They both contain
C. Oh, this is no, it's C.
One's a bit smaller and has less functionality.
Yeah, STDIO is
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So basically, that's
Which
it.
is good for load times. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ultimately doesn't make it.
It literally doesn't.
It doesn't make a difference.
So what we're gonna put in here
on
is
runtime, it makes a difference on comp.
controller 1.
Just so I can be accurate.
Left stick. LS.
I'm waiting for the day TAs.
I don't even know why I put that. Actually, I'm gonna put \n. I'm still gonna have everything in one line.
Wait, they have Zaynab as a prompt.
So I'm actually gonna put in. So %f. Oh, no, that's not percent. I included C standard C STDIO. Yeah. I'll just leave it up there for a
She
second.
was the worst TA and she got the problem.
Actually, why the hell did I even move down? I'm smart. This will get the
Like,
X.
people would skip her class and go to Zach's tutorials.
Actually, go format this differently.
Just
Percent
go to
F.
Zach's tutorial.
Zach's tutorials were fucking lit.
RSS.
I love Zach's vibe.
Mystic.
Not much for YouTube, so don't play your problem.
Percent F.
Yeah, like, he did that with Khalil as the prof too.
Percent F. And what we're gonna do is pass in all the stick values. So sticks. I made some in the .h. I already made some variables to get these. So ls will get the left stick. .x, comma sticks. Oh. Sticks ls dot y, and then I'm gonna copy pasta this. Copy. Pasta, and then just change this to rs. Hells yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, that should print things out. Let's cross our fingers this actually works. Do it, do it, do it. Oh, prints over here. Oh God. What have I done? So, I'm just gonna say this right now. I got an error. I'm gonna show you it. This is fun. So basically, all my values aren't actually initialized. So I'm gonna just go back and figure out what the heck happened real quick. 6. We're on line 127, the input manager. I'm just gonna see what's close to that. Line 127. Oh, yeah. You probably missed a semicolon or something. No, that's definitely not it. I'm just gonna sort of go through my code and try to debug things.
For the right stick under get sticks
Yeah.
is what are the variables? Are they the same on both left and right sticks, x and y, or?
Yeah. So basically, sticks is a struct. Stick is a struct which has the x and y values specifically. So let me just check one more thing. No, it'd be in the CPP. Control this index. Just gonna do some breakpointing. Actually, I'm just gonna check through my code as I know exactly what I did. Sort of, not really. Controllers. Index. That shouldn't really do anything different. It definitely wouldn't do anything different. Gotta check if it actually updates things, so run that. Yeah, it goes there. Index 0. Setting. Set controller index 0. And then just gotta go back to here. Set controller index Index equals index. Index equals index. Yeah, that's right. So I'm just gonna step into it. Make sure that things are being set. Oop. I pinned main, but hey. Control 1. Stop this. I'm literally going to go back into xinput.h and go to the stick stuff. Get sticks. XY. XY. Is it because... Nah, don't tell me. Oh, please no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, it's just breakpointing. That's why.
So it's good? We just need to replace.
I'm pretty sure. No, still broke.
So is it less than or greater than?
In my personal example code, it's less than. Did some sticks.
For me, it worked.
Oh no, that didn't work. It worked.
It worked actually. Like it, just printing out things and all those things, it just keeps running.
Okay, yeah, it's because endless loop. I'm gonna figure out why it's not actually printing the float values real quick. Float x float y. This is literally the same thing. Oh, maybe it's because. Oh yeah. You know, the thing about testing things. You need a controller to test this, don't you?
Yeah.
That's right. So, time to bring out the.
So, time to bring out the controllers, boys. Let's plug that out. I thought I didn't screw anything up. Ugh, I hate that it... What? Nani?
No, it's smaller.
Does that help
Ugh.
memory?
Guess not. What the heck is going on? Gotta go to main. Controller, next input. Am I doing something?
For the get sticks function, does it need to be
I'm gonna do something
at
real
behind
quick.
those sticks too?
No, because how arrays work, arrays are are basically pointers. Basically, but a pointer is not an array.
Alright.
Actually, a pointer is an array. An array cannot be a pointer. But it sort of works as an array since the stick's value itself is literally a reference to the first value of the array. So I'm going to check if this will change anything. Some hacky stuff. As I'm one hacky boy. I changed this. Guess gotta see if that worked. No. What did I do?
Might just work, I don't know.
Yours it works and just
For keeping track of where like the sticks are?
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a value from like -1, 1, and
Yeah, negative
yeah.
1 to not 1 because overflow, but yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure what's wrong with me and Nick and having these random issues, but connected. This should work. Actually, hold on. I gotta check something. Float. Run this. I'm gonna check the index. Actually, the update function.
No, this was just like import, so import everything to fix my issue.
It never updated. It never updated. I put 2 ampersands in there. It never updated. Actually, no, that shouldn't. Oh, it should be and. Is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 4, then update. From index. Index I've been setting. Get stop. Hammer time. Bound it down. Index 0. Everything's like proper. Everything's 0. Then I'm gonna go back to main. Go to date controller 1. Continue. Okay, info. Actually, just gotta get controller. Index. The info's right. Just gonna go into it. And then just breakpoint. Close that and actually charge my laptop. Where is... There we go. I should have done that before. Ah! I figured it out. Sort of. Not really. No, it shouldn't. Sticks. Squirt. Dead zone. Stick. I honestly can't figure out why this isn't working. Info gamepad left stick. X left stick Y. I am referencing the working version,
Oh.
which is weird. It's less than, yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, no, this should be greater than. Whoops. It's because of the way I did it in my thing would have changed things up a bit, so else zero equals 0, 0. Oops. Copy that. And 1. I think it's good. Oh, this will initialize it to 0. Oh, crap. I keep on forgetting about these. Ugh. This is not going to be fun.
Hey, work.
Oh, yes! Whew! If it works, it just works. All right. Finally, I actually have something to show. Ugh. And I messed up some formatting, but I don't care. So you can see I'm moving my left stick right now, and I can move my right stick around too. But I don't want to actually see that stupid thing. Yeah?
Yeah, he's having some issues.
He's having issues?
The CP file is not reading his header file.
So basically, first things first, I had that backwards. And then actually had to also initialize it to values 2, 0.
two places of that important. So I'm gonna guess that you still have your file, your value file in your downloads file. Because it created both, because okay, so here's what's happening. So how Visual Studios works is that, so when it's, right now it's trying to find these two things in the place that it was before, so in your downloads. What you have to do is delete them. And then just should work. By work, I mean probably not work. Do you have any issues too?
Okay, so is it less than or greater than that zone? Because either way it works. What? So it's what it's greater than, right? So
It's supposed to be really good.
then I do the other way. Just that one. Oh, never mind. Sorry, it scrolls by so fast.
Yeah, so it's always greater.
Yeah.
And there's also one thing I also missed, which I should probably show on the record, but I should tell you now. So, you know how it starts out with all those negative 3,000 billion, whatever the fuck that was?
Without the controller for the
Yeah, so instead, so what you need to do, so this is if it's not within the list, if it's there, if there's no controller, then it's so all you have to do is else statement, else set the sticks value, sticks 1 for that one, is equal to open bracket, not close brackets, curly brackets, 0, 0. That just sets it so that's 0, 0. Do the same for the 6 as well. And then just
Before,
yeah.
when I put, as soon as I put this in, all the Xinput controller stuff wouldn't be recognized. And then when I asked for help, all of the little semicolons on the process, what is that?
So this weird. So for classes themselves, they're basically variable types themselves. So At the end of the variable type, usually goes to the semicolon. That's really all. It's just the syntax of C++. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. So, I'm gonna guess now things just work. Alright?
So, as you can see, my sticks are completely in neutral. And I still have that, which is weird. But that can be fixed by using your dead zone thing. So, yeah, there's that. It's more or less everything. I'm just going to add a \n to that. Actually, double backslash. That's about it.
It's like, it's worse than Magic Card. Because when it evolves, it just gets worse.
There we go. Oh, it looks a lot nicer.